Welcome to another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I'm here at the News Forum, where all voices matter. Joining us again this month is Thomas Caldwell. He is the founder and chairman of Caldwell Securities Ltd. And lots to talk about, Tom. Welcome to the program again.
Thank you, Tony.
So we're now days past the federal election. I'd love to get your thoughts on where things ended up.
Well, I'm glad it's over. That's number one. Number two, I was rather disappointed with the process in that, Trump was topic number one. The second item on the campaign trail was basically slagging each other. The third was basically Mickey Mouse programs to buy votes as opposed to the big picture. Clearly, there were strategic errors made on all sides, but they were fatal on the conservative side. But be that as it may, we have a new prime minister, and we all have to hope and pray that he does the job.
Now, he's talking about, he did say, I think in his victory speech, but throughout the campaign, he wants Canada to, quote, think big. And I think that means more infrastructure projects, more critical minerals mining, those kinds of things. Is that something that you're expecting as well?
Well, frankly, that's same old stuff.
Okay.
More government projects. If you want to think big, you've got to pull back a step. What we need in terms of thinking big is Canada's taxation system has to be simplified and it has to be reduced. That's a big project. So that's number one. Our regulations have to be simplified and reduced. Our interprovincial barriers have to be removed. And somebody's got to have the courage to bring Quebec into the game. Either you're part of this country or you're not. You can't be, like a teenager demanding, more than your share all the time. So those are the big picture items.
Right.
They think with smoke and mirrors. Oh, look at this big project we got going here. Oh, this is really going. Pipelines aren't going to create jobs. What are going to create jobs are Canadians, and that's what we're missing. Government has to trust Canadians to work and achieve in their own best interest. They don't need handouts to do it, but you do need to have an environment that encourages contributors, not encourages non-contributors. And that's the thing about thinking big. They got to think in a different paradigm. And all we're getting is the same old political drivel that we've had for easily 10 years. It's fancied up and looking better and sounding good. But my big concern about this election is that I wish Carney well, but he has the same cast of characters behind him who foisted a leader on us that did incalculable damage to this country. And they have not been held responsible for that. I just hope and pray he has the gumption to think big and change the cast of characters behind him. But right now, the party has changed one person, and they're going to say it's a whole new policy. Well, why weren't they doing that for the last 10 years?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's my concern. I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. God bless him, because Canada needs some real leadership. But thinking big isn't about government projects and government spending. It's about getting the heck out of the way for a change.
Yeah, and as you say, you need regulatory reform to do that.
Oh,
if we want
absolutely.
the private sector. Yeah.
At every level. I've said, for the entrepreneurial level, we've obliterated entrepreneurial activity in this country with securities regulation. It's just strangling. So, as far as I'm concerned, we have to think in a bigger, different paradigm. And building another pipeline, okay, that's good. We should be doing that. We should have been doing that for 35 years, by the way. We're all clapping our hands saying we got this LNG, liquefied natural gas in BC. That's been on the books for 35 years.
Right.
And we finally got one. There's 15 of them. And the Gulf Coast in the States with another 10 on the books that'll probably up and running within 2 years.
Right.
And we're still playing patty cake here. Never mind not having one on the East Coast, which is needed in Europe. LNG is needed in Europe. So as a previous leader said, there's no business case for it. So that gives you an idea of where we're at.
I remember that infamous, and we talked about it on our show together too, when
Absolutely.
Justin Trudeau told the German chancellor there's no business case for liquefied natural gas. But here we are. We're going to take a brief break with our guest, and we'll be back to also talk about other things. But the election is upon us as well, and we want to dissect that a little bit. So thanks for watching today. We'll be back.